Hey Tony, you hear about the new show BNA, brand new animal? More like Beastars, the new animation. Got 'em. So Netflix has been releasing their own exclusive anime for some time now. And earlier this year, I decided to watch one of those shows, Beastars. And then I decided to watch it again. So I've like watched Beastars twice. It's not that bad. But anyway, on my birthday, on the same exact day as my birthday, Netflix decided to release their newest animal people show, BNA, or Brand New Animal. And you know what? I decided to go watch it. It's not bad, it's actually pretty good. The basic premise of the show is that there are people who can shift into anthropomorphic animals, and these people, referred to as beastmen, are treated like outcasts by the world's human population. The show's protagonist is a normal human named Michiru, who suddenly transforms into a raccoon beastman and finds themselves on the run from human society, and they must find sanctuary in Anima City, a special urban zone where beastmen can live free of discrimination. Shortly after arriving within Anima City, Michiru meets a wolf beastman named Shiro, and the two work together to solve various problems around Anima City. The anime itself is only 12 episodes long, with the first few episodes feeling more standalone and self-contained, while the second half sets up a more centralized conflict. I feel that the structure worked well for the type of story being told, as it spends a good amount of time easing the audience into the show's world and introducing all of the major characters. Speaking of the characters, they all stand out really well from one another, and all of the Beastmen nicely embody the animal that they're based on in both their human and beast forms. I specifically found the leading characters of Michiru and Shiro to be great. The two share a mentor-student relationship, and Michiru's optimism helps balance out Shiro's world weariness. These two also go through the most change both in their character motivations and visual designs. The story of BNA never really managed to surprise me, with all the major twists being pretty obvious, and the messages and themes were handled with very little nuance. But despite these shortcomings, I was never really bored because of the way everything was presented. While there are a few serious moments in BNA, they rarely are dwelled upon, and the show at its core is pretty lighthearted, and I don't honestly feel like there's anything wrong with that. I also appreciate the world building that BNA does. While a lot of the lore is not the deepest thing in storytelling, it's definitely no Gundam, it did help with immersion. It's also interesting to know that even in a world where animal people exist, World War II still happened. Throughout the city, you also see a lot of advertisements in the background for animal-themed versions of real-world brands. For example, you see a dog waste sign in the opening, and I'm assuming that this is supposed to be an homage to Subway. I also remember seeing a Burger Kitty sign, which looked a lot like the Burger King logo. While there are a few actual fights in the anime, all of the action is pretty sleek and fast, with a lot of the framing reminding me of old superhero comics. The city itself also looks fantastic, and I'm a big mark for cool cityscapes, so I feel like Anima City is just presented really nicely. The music in BNA also stands out, with a great mix of pop, synth, and techno, and also a bit of rock every now and then. I've actually listened to the soundtrack probably half a dozen times while writing the script for this video. And as a quick side note, I want to mention that I hate the fact that Netflix skips the anime openings. I should also mention that the animal to human ratio on character designs is spread out nicely. As much as I enjoyed Beastars, I felt like a lot of the characters in that show felt like normal humans with animal heads. BNA is just more aesthetically pleasing. Like, I can't be the only one who is creeped out by Lewis's weird human deer hands. Like, he's a deer person, but then instead of hooves or cloven feet or whatever deers have, he has had weird people hands. And like any time you would see his hands, like when it would like zoom in when he's giving someone a handshake or he grabs an object, you see his creepy weird human hands. Oh, and before I sign off completely, I just want to mention that I don't like the random baseball episode of BNA. Like 4 or 5 episodes in, there's just an episode about baseball, and it's like the most nothing thing ever, and I hate it. I don't like random baseball episode. Overall, I would recommend checking out BNA if you're looking for a vibrant anime that's willing to have fun with its story and world, or if you found yourself enjoying other anime by Studio Trigger, including the show Kill la Kill and the movie Promare. This has been Assault on Anime with Pierre. Try not to die out there. If you're hearing this, you've made it to the end of my video. For that, I would like to thank you. I've been trying out a few different types of formats for these, and for this video I was going for something more short and more concise. I also drafted up a script that's less formal, but then also less loose rambling like my Boruto video. It would be pretty helpful if you would leave like any notes or advice in the comment section. I would also appreciate you adding a like to the corner of the video. It's like on the bottom left side, I believe. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll continue this assault on anime. Hopefully I won't need to deal with any more furries.